Welcome back to the podcast mini-series WoW to Old School, where I'm talking with WoW creators that tried Old School Runescape to try and see what they thought of it, what they're thinking of that other game they used to play, and everything in between. Two of the world's biggest MMORPGs and a bunch of conversations regarding those things. Today I'm talking with the WoW streamer that was second in line for the domino effect right after Guzu. One of the players that has truly embraced Old School Runescape is still actively playing to this day. I'll be honest, I was feeling very jealous up until this interview because it seems like all of my friends got in a call and talked with this guy before me. Well, I don't know where I was, but it wasn't in a call with him, that's for sure. So I finally made it happen. I feel like this guy's always having more fun than anyone else, except for when he gets pelted with a fastball at the OTK event, directly in the back of the head, getting concussed. I think we were probably having more fun than him after that. Every time else, though, every other time, he's been having way more fun, probably. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this conversation with Savix. Savix.
Hello.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
How long have you been playing World of Warcraft?
How long have I been playing World of Warcraft? Ever since I was in 5th grade, I believe, or 6th grade. Can't really remember, but
it's like 3 years ago, or how long ago is that?
It's a scary number, I'd say, like 20 years ago.
So did you start playing like when WoW first launched, or like how far into WoW expansions did you start playing?
So we grew up playing Blizzard games. We, as in me and my brothers, and they were a lot older, so they got into these gaming stuff earlier. And I was a kid. I followed along my brother's footsteps, playing like Diablo 2, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, like everything, right?
Yeah.
And then one of my brothers started playing World of Warcraft. Funny enough, me and my older brother used to make fun of him, saying like World of Warcraft's for losers. We hear like you get no life, right?
Yeah.
And there was a day where my brother went to swim practice, and then I started playing on his account because he's like, yo, just try it out for once. It'll be really fun. So I made a Dwarf Hunter, played, fell in love with it. I just played on trial accounts for 2 months straight, I believe, or 3. It might have been longer. And trial accounts back then were only like 7 days, right? So I've been just like going through everyone's like trial accounts. But yeah, since like 2004, close to 2005 probably.
Okay. And did you ever take any like big breaks at all? Like, was there any expansions you kind of just didn't mess with? It just kind of stepped away at all? Or did you kind of play through all of it?
The only big break I really had was when I was going into my high school, which was when Wrath of the Lich King was just releasing. And I was like, I played this game way too much. I can't even believe that I had that thought as a kid, but I was like, yeah, I played this game way too much. I'm going to stop playing and have a life in high school, right?
Yeah.
But funny thing, I come back from school and on my table is Wrath of the Lich King expansion box. And my character was on the boat to Borean Tundra, and my second brother bought me this expansion so that I could play with him. And, you know, it was on my table, and my character was already logged in. It was like a surprise. I was like, how can I say no to this? And then I started playing again. I think that was like a little break I had. I never took like a really long break off of like when I tried Lost Ark, Final Fantasy, and OSRS, which is like pretty recent of the years, right?
So it basically stayed as like your home base. Like you just always had WoW to go back to, basically.
Pretty much. I really, really enjoyed WoW.
Nice. Good stuff. So when it comes to like your approach to games, especially MMOs, how would you describe your play style and like approach to just the way that you see the game, how you want to play it? Like, you know, some players are more casual about it. Some are like, I gotta complete everything, like completionist mentality. How do you go into games, especially WoW?
In World of Warcraft, I did have like a completionist mentality, but as expansions continue coming out, it's like, oh man, another set of dailies. I gotta get exalted with these, exalt with that, reputation farms, like Mog farm. Like it just became too much at a point. And I was mainly a PvP guy that wanted to get like rank 1 titles and mounts and tabards, shoulders. Like you get like special enchants for your weapons. So I aimed for those later, but I do like going in the traditional route. And luckily enough, I think if we could speak about OSRS here, is that there are changes and there's new additions, but I love how you can go through the same step that other people went through and kind of go through the same route they went and experience the same thing. And I really like that in trying out games where I get to really take that step by step, going through what other people went. So I try to like dip my toes in everything I can now instead of just playing PvP only.
Gotcha.
So I like to try out everything and see what I like from that, and then I'll probably lean more into that side, right?
Right.
Whether it be PvP or PvE.
So would you like say that if there was like a label put on you as a player, like PvPer would probably be the most applicable, or not anymore?
I don't really play super competitive or super sweaty anymore. I think the last time I did that was like 2021.
Oh, okay.
Now I try to go in a casual route because I'm pretty sure you've like done super hard grindy stuff or something super competitive like in your own story, in your own life, right? And I think I'm at that age where I got to try everything, and I feel like for me, I got to achieve what I wanted or go to the top that I wanted to. And now I want to just relax and enjoy the game in my own pace.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that.
And I say that, but at the same time, there's like, if my friends are doing this, I'm like, shoot, I do want to do that. But I don't go like super sweat like 20 hours a day like long time ago.
Yeah, no, I get that completely.
Too much. Yeah.
So right now in the World of Warcraft landscape, like there is a lot going on with like anniversary servers, hardcore servers, a Legion remix, Mop Classic, retail. There's just a lot over there happening. And since you've been over here in the old school world for a while, when you glance back over there at this community you were a part of for so long, what are your collective thoughts about it right now? Like the current state of World of Warcraft in general?
Gosh, can I answer it however I want? Like, how do
however
do you want to like
want.
give me a little guideline?
However you want, just your general
however
thoughts.
I want.
Yeah.
Like, what do I think about the direction World of Warcraft is going through right now?
Yeah, just
like,
anything. Just like
they have.
Yeah, just like your initial thoughts. Like, you know, you're walking forward and you're glancing backwards at all these WoW titles behind you, like the WoW, the Blizzard. Like, you're just looking back. Like, what are your thoughts now that you've kind of stepped back from it a little bit?
Bro, this is such a big question.
It is, yeah.
Now that I'm playing OSRS, when I look at it, I think it's normal. I'm pretty sure you'd feel it if you play World of Warcraft for a long time. If you look back at Old School Runescape, if that was your main MMO, right? Like you feel like a part of it is your home, right? So when I look at WoW right now, it's like, dang, I do miss it, but I'm loving the journey I have in OSRS right now, and I'd like to achieve the goals that I'm aiming for. And then probably along the line, I'll go back, right? I think Tim the Tatman said it the best. He was playing Classic WoW, and he was like, this is like grandma's pie. Like, no one can do it like this, right? So for me, going back to Classic WoW is that vibe where it has a special spot in my heart because I played it so long and so many times, right? And then the cool part about it is that if I go back, it won't be necessarily like the same experience, but the playthrough is about the same, where we go from dead mines to stockades to like SM. You know what I mean, right? There's that stepping stone. And that's what I meant by like Old School RuneScape earlier, where I get to go through these steps of like Dragon Slayer 2, or Desert Treasure. Like, I love that we could go through these, and it's so fun. And going back to the World of Warcraft, I feel like it's a very good game. It's a very good game. It's just we played it too long, and there's no additions for Classic WoW. So since I've pretty much did everything I wanted to in Classic WoW, I think right now is a really good time for me to try out different MMOs, right?
Definitely.
But if they were to do Classic Plus, and if they do it right, like I would love to go back and try it, and I hope they do it right. I think we're just all scared that, you know, it might not be that direction.
Well, that's a perfect segue, because that's my next question. The fact that you said, hope they do it right. When you think about Classic Plus, because I mean, that's the big deal. Like Classic Plus, when talking about World of Warcraft, is what everybody is just waiting around for, hoping that it comes out. So in your eyes, you know, what would make it so that it's right? Because you know, World of Warcraft is a very vertical progression. And, you know, if you're talking about creating a whole new WoW experience, you know, my biggest question with it is how do you kind of escape that end game gameplay loop of like, is this just going to be a different farming for pre-bis and then getting bis and then waiting for the next patch, or like how is it going to separate itself from the current format of WoW, like without making it not feel like WoW?
I love that you're questioning about this because I really wanted to cover this topic in one of my other videos.
Nice.
But yeah, I think, bro, we're just nerds. We want to have a good MMO, right? And we love classic WoW as much as we love OSRS, right? But trying out different MMOs, different times, super fun. I think I pretty much kind of said it at the start too, right? The replayability. I think that's really important in Classic Plus. I'm not sure if you played Season of Discovery. Have you touched upon that at all?
Only the first like 25 levels when it first came out. Yeah.
Okay. If I could tell you the story of Season of Discovery, I don't think they necessarily missed. I think they had a good aim in the dartboard. It's just the directions they went were a little bit in the way of players disliking it, right? Basically, I think 1 through 25, finding these runes for new ability, those are perfect. But the pacing and the addition to some of the things was where they screwed up, the pacing and what they were adding. So basically, they added these ways to skip everything and just level up super fast. And there's a vendor that just gives you runes like candy. You can just buy all of them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that ruins the game if they do that. And
I didn't know they did that. Because I remember when I first started, you had to go like search for a rune somewhere, like this mysterious rune or something like that.
Right. So their aim was correct. I think like the first part was really good. And then the last part, the Scarlet Enclave, I think it was great. But if I could explain it in the way like you could understand and the viewers can understand, is that they need to, in the future, Classic Plus or any MMOs in the future, they really got to make it replayable. And I think that's super important. And I say this because retail WoW loses that touch, where retail WoW is really fun in its own ways, right? But if I were to explain to people about my Legion or World of the Draenor or Mr. Pandaria achievements, like not a lot of people could relate to that because they didn't get to play that expansion and they just played the newest expansion, right?
Right.
But if I talk about Classic WoW, everyone could relate to like going to Westfall or going to Barrens, going to like STV, getting your encounter in like PvP. Same thing in Old School Runescape. Like when I first played, like people are trying to bait me or lure me into the wildy, right? And they're telling me all these boss fights. Like that exists in Classic WoW and OSRS because there's that replayability. Right. I know there's like new crabs and there's like sailing command, like there's new additions, but you can still play it in the same way. As for retail WoW, you lose all that. Like it's just level to max, do the max content and do the raid that's available now. And you can't play the older raids, but it's not the same as we know, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that hurts the game. And for some people, it works. They just want to do the new raids, new keys, new achievements, etc. But in a way where we can all connect and appreciate the game's history, I think the replayability is really, really important. And I hope they do that correctly.
Do you have any ideas or like directions of what would create some kind of replayability in a Classic Plus?
Well, I guess if you've done a warrior, and I'm sure you've done a warrior, you know how there's like steps to getting your SM set, the Herald set, and then you get the Whirlwind Axe. Like those are like memories, right? And then everyone that played Classic WoW, they're like, yo, if you're a first time player, go play that or go get that, right? And as an old player, it's so fun to watch new players like go and tackle that solo, and it's great. It's kind of like how Tyler once played World of Warcraft Classic for the first time. And all the veterans of the WoW loved watching that because we can all relate in a way, right? And it's that replayability is available for them to go play that. It might not be the most exciting because it's so outdated. All you do is throw knives and just skip around the water, but it's still fun to see their reaction of getting the loot and killing the boss because it's something you achieve in the game, right? It's like one of those harder steps than just killing a random mob, right?
Right.
And I guess now that I'm playing OSRS is that these OSRS streamers or viewers, they like watching the fresh people play and going through that same experience that I went through as like Tyler did, right? Where I'm doing Jad and we have like 30,000 people watching. It's just like people like to watch that nostalgic feel. And I think being able to do that is awesome. And if they could add things, yeah, it's just like common bosses. I guess the real challenge for them though is that there's a lot of classes in WoW, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would have to make something iconic for that class that everyone gets to enjoy doing.
Right.
And they did a little bit of that in Season of Discovery. I don't think it was terrible. I think some parts they did right, some parts they missed. And that's up to the people to decide on. But I really do think they should add fun little things and fun little bosses that are memorable. I'd even say in OSRS, I like the Moons, the Titans. Now I'm in the Red Prison, which is the Gauntlet. And
yeah,
I like those steps. Even though it's like a prison, it's like a step that every Iron Man's go through, and I get to experience the same thing, right? Yeah. And I like those bosses. They're like challenging. And dude, Red Prison is pretty damn challenging, I'll say. But it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. And that's what gamers like. They like to just tackle and try to beat the boss and then get the loot they need, right?
Definitely.
And that's why like Dark Souls or Elden Ring is popular too. It's just like badass hard bosses you're just trying to tackle and kill, and once you kill it, it's like, damn, I mastered the fight, got the loot, let's move on to the next boss, right? And it's those fun challenges. So I want Classic WoW to add some fun challenges, right?
Yeah, hopefully they do figure out like some angle to create that replayability, because I that probably is one of the hardest things to create, especially for an MMO where, you know, you're expected to sink hundreds and hundreds of hours into a character, or, you know, in RuneScape's case, an account, and having someone come back and restart is always a challenge, like creating something that people are going to want to invest that time again, sort of thing.
Right.
Replayability with WoW, I guess some might argue that like creating a new character with a new class could be considered replaying it. But it's just like a weird, it doesn't feel like replayability is the right way to describe it, if that makes sense. Like I'm not sure where it's at, but hopefully they do make some systems and some bosses and content that, you know, becomes somewhat of like an iconic pit stop, you know, like Barrows and Old School kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd love that. It's a fun way to like play the game. I will say the challenge in WoW though, again, it's the classes where in Old School RuneScape, like this shifted my view in MMOs, by the way. I kind of love how OSRS has no classes and everyone can do melee, ranged, or magic, right? I think that's freaking awesome.
It is really cool.
And that also makes it where no one's complaining about their class. Like I don't see anyone saying, oh man, my magic sucks. Like, or in WoW, it's like my rogue DPS sucks or my mage DPS sucks, right? And there's all these classes crying, but I don't really see that in this game, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess to kind of rewind a little bit, to kind of get into the Old School discussion, going back to the summer, you know, this mass migration of WoW players just all came over. Were you? It was like 2 weeks or something after all the other guys had gotten here. I remember you.
No, it was Guzu and then me and then everyone else came in. Sardako, Zaryu. Yes.
Okay, I got everyone's order mixed up. Then I knew Sardako was later. Yeah, I knew Sardako was later.
Yeah, Sardako was later.
I guess the way I'm thinking about it is like, do you remember how long Guzu was playing before you had started?
It might have been like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, that's what was in my head. I figured, I didn't realize it was such a big gap between Guzu and when everyone else had kind of like looked over in the direction. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Now that you're mentioning it, it definitely. I do remember you being the next like big stream that of like a WoW guy coming out. That doesn't make sense. It's all blurring together for me at this point, but
it's been a while. We've been playing for like 4 months now, I believe.
Yeah, all you guys are in the fucking corrupted gauntlet right now. It's crazy. Like that's how far you guys are. It's been so long. But I guess rewinding to that, you know, obviously Guzu was playing it, but do you remember what your initial reason, like the tip of the iceberg that made you really want to go for it and try out Old School RuneScape?
For me, every breakfast I eat, I try to like see what my friends are doing, and I'd go say hi to Guzu, and then his community would be all like Savix, come play OSRs, come play OSRs. And then Goose like, yeah, you should join us, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, I'll think about it, right? And at that time, I was already playing League of Legends because Classic WoW, I've played it so much, right? I
Yeah.
played it so much. And since they don't add like Classic Plus or anything, and I already beat Season of Discovery, they also mentioned that they're going to cut off Season of Discovery. So I was like, okay, why am I even playing this then if there's no, continuous addition to the game, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I came open-minded because back in my elementary school, I fought with kids saying that, OSRS doesn't look as good, right? But I was super wrong. I was super wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was a web browser clicker game, but there's so much in depth to it. And I will say, I think this might be the most grindiest MMO I've played.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's very grindy.
Very unique grinds at that. Like it's not, you can't really even compare it to other like grindy MMOs because the grinds are just so in their own genre, I guess. But yeah,
I'm blowing sand and I get 55 per blow, and it's like I gotta do till 99. Hello, like what is this?
Yeah,
it's very grindy. But yeah, that's how I got started playing the game.
Yeah, so you were on the front lines, basically, trash talking RuneScape graphics back in the day. Then.
Yes, I was one of those guys that really loved WoW. And I will say, I think for 2004, if I could compare RuneScape and WoW, I think WoW was like kind of a monster back then.
Oh, miles ahead of basically everything. Not just like obviously RuneScape, but everything. Like it was a monster. It was unstoppable. Revolutionary.
I will say now, I think OSRS is better than Classic WoW because of how much they added to the game. Like all these fun bossing and these skills, I really like it.
Like in terms of content available sort of thing?
Yes, in terms of that. Because Classic WoW paused at 2004, right? They never added anything. Well, I guess you could say like 2005, 2006, but they never added anything like Old School RuneScape did. So back in 2004, I'll say World of Warcraft was like peak, but I think nowadays, I think you could say OSRS is doing fantastic, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so curious.
All the stuff they added.
Like now that you mentioned that, I'm so curious of what you guys would think if you got to log into the 2013 client of Old School RuneScape before any updates or quality of life were put in. Like, it was a whole different game. Like using your arrow keys to turn your camera, it was brutal.
Wait, you guys didn't even have the middle mouse move.
Yeah, no middle mouse. Yeah, it was
what?
Yeah, it was crazy. Couldn't change your F keys, like nothing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I probably would have liked WoW.
Yeah, most people would have. It was Old School was not people were excited, but it was not big really until they started putting their own updates in. So yeah, the fact that they're not updating Classic WoW at all, definitely, I mean, it speaks volumes because, I mean, we've seen it over here, what just giving a rollback client looks like. It doesn't do much by itself. Like you have to attend to it, add to it, update it if you want it to survive. And Old School has been out for 12 years now. So it's like they figured it out, obviously. It's breaking records this year. So it's awesome.
It's so awesome to see that.
Yeah, but going back to when you first started, do you remember just your first week? You're logging in, you're experiencing this kind of sandbox MMO for the first time, of just your impressions, like your first impressions of the game. Like what was going through your head each day when you were logging in for that first week?
Old School RuneScape.
Yeah, on Old School RuneScape.
Okay, like I said, I came with a super open-minded, and I've done this for Final Fantasy 14 and Lost Ark and Blade and Soul. So coming into this, I will say the first few days, I did meme a lot because I was like clicking stuff. I'm just auto-attacking. These guys all fall over. There's like no real mechanic, right? And I continued playing though because I did see like what the other side looks like. And I heard about how challenging it gets. So I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to go through this to see that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I stuck around and I got to see all these like amazing bosses like Toa. I guess like the first step was Scurious. When I first saw Scurious, I was like, okay, this game actually has mechanics and you got to play right, melee, range, and magic. and you got to beat up this rat, kill ads. Like I was like, okay, this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what more they have in the future.
Yeah.
And from the OSRS event we got to do the Theater of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I did Toa and Cox, and I was like, dude, this is super fun.
Yeah.
Like this
So much
browser
depth.
clicking game actually has so much to offer, which is crazy.
I'll never forget you getting your fire cape and seeing your ass run underneath Jad through it with the high IQ mechanics. I'm like, what study guide was this motherfucker using, dude? Like, that's crazy. It's like, that's wild. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool seeing all like the mechanics kind of open up to you.
I actually thought I was gonna die though, because the ones I studied were the ones where like he's on the side and you go down and kill the ads, right? And then you go back up.
Yeah.
When I saw that orange guy spawn in the middle, I was like, oh shoot, I'm fucked, guys.
Yeah.
But I remember like my chat saying you could go under him, just have to play melee. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that. And at that moment, I just tried it, sent it, and I executed it properly, and we got to beat him, which is freaking awesome.
I was in disbelief,
I almost panicked, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually like a rite of passage to panic in that situation. Like, I feel like most people would just completely botch that. So I was just mind blown when you just flawlessly pulled it off. I was like, oh my, I can't believe you did that. It's so cool.
Thank you.
But I guess that just goes to show, like, like these mechanics that you would have never ever guessed RuneScape would have, like just on first glance, sort of thing.
I would have never. Yep.
Yeah. So did you ever try the whole like guideless thing, or were you kind of embracing the wiki and quest helper like pretty much off the bat?
There's like a meme in my chat where they spam read, right? Because I never freaking read, and they tried so many times to make me like read wiki and go through them. I did use the quest helper. However, I didn't really use wiki as much as I should have. So I feel bad because the community really wanted me to learn the wiki. To this day, I barely use it. But yeah, I did kind of like a quest helper, but didn't really have a structure that I followed. I think that's why I was kind of slow on my skilling. But looking back now, I kind of wish I followed the Bodhi's guide. I looked at it and it's like, holy moly, this guy's min-maxing and you could get to this level in like 3 days. Which took me like days to get to. Yeah. Like the agility leveling, I leveled it up in like Varrock, Camelot. You know, I leveled it up in these weird places. You have no idea, Jimmy. Yeah. And then I see Bodhi like leveling everything in this like place he goes into in the island. I don't know what you call that place. When you first start? Or where? No, there's this is it in the Karabanji Island? Yeah, I think so. In Brimhaven, there's like this agility area you could go in and then you could do the course to level up. Oh, the Brimhaven agility course, like the one obstacle that people jump over and over? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, pretty much where I leveled up to like 73 just climbing houses, right? I wish I knew about that place, but I didn't. Yeah, it's really interesting, just all the various methods of training skills that people kind of figure out, because the whole like agility Brimhaven thing wasn't really meta until I feel like recently. Maybe people were using it, but I had never heard of people doing that up until like the WoW guys came over. Yeah, like I'd never known anyone that trained that way, but I mean maybe people have been doing that forever, but who knows. Once you started playing a little bit and you kind of found yourself continuing your journey, there was a saying being thrown around a lot throughout the Twitch chats and YouTube comments of everyone saying progression matters in old school RuneScape. It was like the big argument of why WoW players are enjoying it. I mean, I don't have much credentials to be like, yeah, progression matters over here more than over there, because I've only leveled like a few times in WoW, so I don't have the stuff to back me up here. But from your perspective, does the whole progression matters statement that everyone throws around so much, does that actually apply, or is it kind of overdone? Progression meaning like going to barrows, to moons, like that kind of stuff? Yeah, just everything. Like your progression matters in general. Like just, I think it's obviously it's a contrast to the fact that when you're playing World of Warcraft, a lot of players feel like they're constantly like on a timer to get their best in slot before it becomes irrelevant.
their gear kind of gets, overwritten essentially.
Oh.
I think
No,
that's mostly what they're talking about.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna answer this the way you're questioning it, but I do think I really like how you do Toa to get the staff, right? That's like the best in slot. And then you did Theater of Blood to get the Scythe, which is the best in slot melee. And you did Cox to get the Twisted Bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I could backtrack a little bit, like getting the Barrow's gear definitely does help in Moons. I don't think you need all of it if you're like a good player, right? But it definitely helps. And I like that. I think it's very good that you have a choice of wanting to get it or not.
Right.
And then now if I could fast forward to the end game stuff, I really like that there's weapons that are best in slot in each raids where you have to go back and do them. Because for instance, like Molten Core and BWL, yes, there are some trinkets that maybe you didn't get because there's like 50 rogues or 50 warriors in your group and you never get your turn, right? So you have to go get it. But I like that there's like these best in slot item where you have to go back and do these contents.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess to answer the whole progression thing, I like it. I like the steps you have to take because at the start of the interview too, I said that I like trying out everything. And then later on, I lean on like whatever I like more, right?
Right.
Whether it be raid or doing mini bosses. But I like that I got to try all of these and I think the progression's awesome. Because
Cool.
now I can relate with other OSRS players and talk about things in a way I could understand a tiny bit better, right?
Right.
Whereas if it's like retail WoW where you get to max level and you do the newest raid, it's like I'm not gonna know anything about the previous stuff. And it's all irrelevant in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
It definitely. Yeah. I feel like anyone who goes and plays like retail off the bat, like a new player going and play retail, you're just you just go by like 20 years of the end game history that you never see. You'll never see it unless you're going and you become like a collector or something that you're trying to, complete all the collection log over there. I don't know. But
and there's like pros and cons to that, right? You just get to skip to the best like new stuff where you don't have to like do all the grind. And I guess that's where like people get to choose if they want that or not, right?
Right. Yeah.
But retail WoW feels like a seasonal game where like this one is like you go on a journey and you enjoy like the traditional things that OSRS players have.
Right.
And it's cool that I get to experience it all. I think it's so cool.
So speaking of experiencing it all and kind of bouncing off the, what you were talking about, there was like 50 rogues, so you didn't get the thing you needed kind of thing. A big selling point of Old School, especially for Iron Men, is the fact that you really don't need to play with other people to do the content in the game, especially if you need to get new gear or get your upgrades to progress your account a little more. What's been your thoughts so far on being able to just kind of go in with like almost like a single player feel to complete things in the game?
I want to say I love it.
Yeah.
I really like that I can go in and spam it as much as I want to get the drop.
Yeah.
Because in WoW, you have to wait once a week, which could kind of be a bummer for raids, of course, right?
Yeah.
I also, this is kind of like off topic, but I like that there's no tank or healer role in OSRS. It's just you bring your potions. If you fuck up, you're dead. It's your fault. There's no like, oh, I didn't get healed. Let's blame the healer or let's blame the tank. And in FF, I also didn't like tanks because they could F up every single mechanic and they'll live because they're so tanky, right?
Yeah.
But in this game, like if you F up a mechanic, you get punished pretty harshly.
Right.
And I really, really like that part about OSRS. And I think that's a unique part about OSRS where it's like classless, everyone's the same. You go in with the set of potions and you just send it home.
Yeah, it is a cool part
really
of it.
Cool.
Especially
it's
since
really
like
cool.
there's nothing in the game like an item that will be irrelevant to you. Like if you go and get a good drop somewhere, it's not going to be like class dependent. Like, oh, I'm not a warrior, so this doesn't matter for me. Like I'll just sell this or whatever. Like anything you get, you can use sort of thing, which I think is really nice. I guess my time in WoW is kind of like You know, there's so many times I left a dungeon disappointed or something because the thing that dropped just
Oh,
wasn't
'cause
for
you
me.
can't-
You know, it's
yeah,
like,
no, I get it.
the
I
warlock
totally
gets
get
it. You know, it's like, yeah. So I like that
Yeah.
aspect of it for sure.
Mhm.
You said you've been doing some raids.
Yeah, we've been doing Toa. Cox, we're pretty new to, so in Olm 5, we're getting wrecked right now. But
Yeah, Olm's
Toa,
tough to
we've
learn.
definitely sharpened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Olm is like tremendously hard right now.
The first time, like I'll never forget the first time where I was kind of being guided through and having to dodge those crystals falling was like a nightmare, like trying to just comprehend everything going on around me. It was just just overwhelming. So yeah, it's a very fun one to learn. Super fun.
Yeah.
Through your journey so far, like looking back, do you have a quest cape at all, or have you done a lot of the quests?
I have a few quests left. I kind of like stopped for some reason, but you don't have to do the diaries, right?
No, you don't need to do the diaries for quests.
I have a handful of quests left. I could probably push for it, but it hasn't been my priority.
Gotcha. So just to make sure that you've done like a good chunk of them, but just like looking back on everything so far, what would you say? What part of the game has been your favorite experience? Like whether it's a certain grind that you were really enjoying, or just the like experiencing bosses for the first time. Like what really sticks out as your highlight?
This is gonna sound weird, but I was in Moons for a very long time, and I was in Titan for a very long time. I think I'm almost like 636 kill in Titan to get all my stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I absolutely hated it, where I was like, man, why am I being so unlucky where all my friends are getting in like 70 kills, right?
Yeah.
And I'm almost getting 700 kills. But the viewers were saying that it's trauma bonding, I guess.
Yeah.
And when I look back at it, it's like, damn, that sucked. But at the same time, I had fun grinding my ass, like trying to get that item, right?
100%. Yeah.
I do think I enjoyed the bosses a lot more.
That's good. Yeah.
If I could choose one quest though, Sins of the Father, that was really good.
Yes, Sins of the
actually
Father.
Like, read the story too. Yeah.
Nice. Have you done Desert Treasure 2 yet?
I have not done that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do the Guthics and Desert Treasure soon, though.
Yeah. Both the people I talked to that said that they did not like quests both said that Desert Treasure 2 was one of their favorite parts of Old School RuneScape.
Really?
Yeah, so it's gonna be really fun watching you do that. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'm
like
excited.
that's the quest that makes people into quests for a second. Like even if it's just for one quest, people get into it because of how cool that quest is. It's that good. Like it is by far the best. Yeah, it's not even close. So I'm stoked for you to do that one. I'm excited.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I guess right now, there's been a bunch of WoW streamers who have, they tried RuneScape. They gave it a couple weeks, wasn't really feeling it. Recently, the recent topic has been Showbeck kind of burning out a little bit, not finding himself like, motivated to find a goal or anything like that. It's just like very natural parts of playing an MMO, playing old school.
Yeah.
So where would you say that you currently stand? Like, do you have long-term goals in mind that are kind of keeping you here, or like how are you viewing old school right now?
I have a long-term goal for sure. I said from the start I wanted to get Fire Cape and then Inferno Cape, right? I think Inferno Cape itself is a challenge. Like I looked at Wooks clearing it, or my friends showing me them fighting it. You got to like set up the boss. You got to go and pick up like Mage Pray, Range Pray, Mage Pray, Range Pray, like in a 6-second tick. And it's like, damn. It's so deep, and I'm an Iron Man, so I gotta farm every single item before going there. So it's a really long stretch to go, and I'd love to get there. So that's like where my headspace is at right now, and I don't see myself like dropping it anytime soon. And if I could go back into the Showbeck's thing, I know some people are being harsh, but I feel like he got to try the game, and he's experienced it a lot more than some of the other WoW people that tried it, right? Like Sony, Annie, Soda, like multiple other names, right? I will say he got far and he got Quest Cape, and it's up to him to see if he wants to continue it or not, right? And he might be burned. Maybe he saw like what the game is all about. It's very grindy. Maybe it's not for him. So I think people shouldn't hate on that, right?
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
I think most people are upset though, like which I could see the perspective of is they're really invested in his story and he wanted to get like Zuckhelm and all these other things, right? And he told them he'll get them. And I guess those people are the ones that are mad because they were so invested, right? So I can understand from both sides, but it's just unfortunate that there's like some clash on it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I mean, everyone's journey is so fun to watch, and it's nice to get invested in somebody's story and journey, especially the players that have just been having a blast watching people try it for the first time. But at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like it doesn't. If he says he's gonna go get a Zuckhelm on an Iron Man, first of all, if you have any context whatsoever about Old School RuneScape, you should know that a new player saying that they're going to go get an Iron Man Zuckhelm is just something that you should playfully cheer on, because there's no way that is going to happen. Why would you think that's going to happen at all? It's a hard thing to do, man. Like, it's one of the hardest things to achieve in video games, like not just MMOs, but like that. The challenges you need to do for that are insane. So I would never hold it against a new player. Be like, oh, you didn't do that thing you said you were gonna do. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, no one thought you were gonna do that. Like, it's fine. But it's just like it is a game at the end of the day. Like, no one else's story is gonna truly matter except for yourselves, and it's like you can't fault people for not having motivation to get a goal achieved on a game that asks for hundreds of hours of time investment. Like, you can't demand that from somebody if it's not something they are really wanting to do. So I completely understand. I talked to him for quite a while about it yesterday and got his perspective on it, and it definitely makes sense where he's coming from. I totally see that, but I think as long as you do have a goal in mind that you're actually wanting, like as long as you have a desire to get that Infernal Cape, you're going to have no problem logging in and working towards it. That's just how old school goes, I guess. But is what it is.
I will say one of the most grindiest MMO I played, man. It's a good problem to have in an MMO, I think. Like, having so much to do. I think it's a good problem to have in a game.
Definitely.
Because in other MMOs, like, you kind of run out and you leave, right?
Yeah. It doesn't. I guess some players I see would kind of see like the quest cape as the end goal for a lot of stuff, because I've definitely felt that way before. But just kind of looking at all the creators, all the series, all the streaming, it's like you can kind of see just how much potential there is to like find a new path to take and a new journey on a new account kind of thing. So
it's awesome, man.
Just a never ending journey. Like, you could just seriously never beat the game, and it's a great time watching everybody else. It's good.
It's funny how you say that, the never beat the game. It's like, I guess the definition depends on the players, but whenever I ask chat, like, when do you beat the game? They always say never. And these guys are playing for like years and they still are collecting things, right?
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's like when you beat all the bosses, that's when you beat the game. But for them, it's like they have to have everything collected, all the logs completed. And it's like they'll never be able to achieve that, right?
Right.
It's literally endless. It's crazy.
Well, the thing is, funny enough, the first video I made that this video is going to be a sequel for is like the why people play RuneScape. Like 5 years ago, I had said in there like that RuneScape, like, you can't beat RuneScape even if you were to get 200 million XP and everything, full collection log. Like, there's nothing more you can truly achieve on the account. Your journey doesn't end there because you're making a new account. Like, it's not beaten. You don't think it's beaten in your head. That's why you started a new account. Like, every maxed player has multiple accounts that they're on. Like, that's just the way that their gaming life has worked. So even when you think it's beaten, which, I mean, no one's even had an account that has achieved that yet. So it's like, nobody ends their journey just on that one guy. Like, yeah, sure, that character's story, it's its own thing, but player to game, it's just not beatable. Like, you'll never be beating the game in that sense. So it's a very unique MMO in that sense, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So at this point, would you say that Old School RuneScape has kind of solidified itself as a permanent game to play, like in your tool belt, especially on stream, like for, I mean, I don't want to say years to have you say like, oh, I'm playing this for years, but like, do you see it as a game that you could play in the future, like long down the road, just whenever?
Permanent. I don't know if like permanent is the right word, because I thought WoW was going to be my permanent game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point I thought Final Fantasy was going to be my permanent game, but once I got what I wanted, which was like doing an ultimate in Final Fantasy, right? It's one of the hardest raids, takes like 3 months to learn. Some people could do it in a week or like a month, right? But
yeah,
for the average player, it takes like 6 months or an year to learn the ultimates. And once I beat the ultimate and got everything I wanted, I was like, okay, there's not much to do in here anymore, right? Because I got what I wanted. And I guess you could say the same with like WoW, where you beat all the raid to Naxxramas. It's like, okay, what's next, right? I just don't want to spam Naxxramas. It gets kind of boring. For me in RuneScape would be kind of like I said, the goal right now is Inferno. Hopefully I could get it right.
Yeah.
But if there's another like really, really interesting game that comes out near the time, I mean, we're MMO lovers, right? We would love to try new things, and if it's fun, we'll play. But if it's not fun, I'll probably come back to RuneScape, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess it's the same concept for like WoW, where if some things are getting kind of slow and maybe my audience is not enjoying it as they used to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably play Classic WoW and then maybe hop back to osrs and like bounce around, right? But I don't think I'll ever like quit RuneScape, because I'm pretty damn invested into this game.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, now I kind of like what I call the homework, which is like the farming, my birdhouse run, getting my seaweed planted, blowing glass. Like it's kind of becoming a like part of my daily routine now.
Right.
And I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think if there's a way to make that, you know, not feel like, you know, quote unquote homework, like if it's a comfortable, cozy thing that you integrate in your life, it's like, why not, you know? Yeah, that's good though.
It's making me disciplined, you know, and I like that. Like,
I guess it can, absolutely. Yeah, it can make you disciplined.
Yeah.
So right now,
everything I need to do.
Right now, there's this is the first temporary game mode that's come out while you've been a part of the Old School community. The Gridmaster stuff. And did you? I think I saw you had tried it for like a couple days, right?
I'm planning to complete it after I come back from my break. I'm gonna be gone on 27th and coming back on November 1st. After I come back, I think I'm gonna finish out the rest. I think I have like 13 tiles left. Nice. So you're enjoying it? I didn't want to play, but I think it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I don't think there's been too many other WoW guys that have been playing.
I think it's only been Goose and I. That played it.
Yeah, because Sardako said he's not even going to touch it because he's like, it's XP waste for my main account. I'm like, all right, I get that, man. Yeah, I
had the same reasoning. I told everyone, like, this is my main character. This is like my firstborn son. I want to show him all the love and I want to do everything on this character, like first time experience. But everyone kept saying, try it out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it out. Because at the end of the day, like I tried out RuneScape, right? Because I was open-minded and I was like, I'll try it out since everyone's saying it.
Yeah.
And I tried it out. I think they did a good job. It was fun. It was really fun. And I'm looking forward to completing the rest of it.
Yeah. It's a really, really fun thing to see.
Have you completed it?
I haven't completed it yet. No, I started super late. I think I'm on like day 3 right now, and I've gotten. I just got my 99 construction out of the way, and just kind of.
Oh my goodness!
Doing yeah. So I'm just slowly getting through it. I think
the fence and the thrones. Like,
the marble fence.
Okay, Dude, that marble part took forever, man.
Yeah, I made sure to go get as many of the XP bonuses as possible. I think I'm at like 10x XP right now, so it went by pretty fast. Nice. Yeah, it's been a blast though. But I'm I really hope that a lot of the WoW guys will try a league when it comes out, because it is. Like Gridmaster was super fun. A lot of people tried it on day 1, but leagues is like that. Those day ones of leagues are some of the most fun you can have in video games. Even if you're not even into RuneScape much, playing on day 1 of leagues is some of the most fun, the craziest, most chaotic shit ever. It's like it quite literally is like classic launching on day one sort of thing with how
Oh,
many
man,
people are
that's
running
the
around,
best,
and
bro.
it's awesome, man. I can't wait for you guys to experience that if you guys do try it. It's gonna be great.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that Jagex continues like experimenting with temporary game modes like that, because I think it is a big plus.
It's a good mix, and then it makes you like kind of miss the old games, so you go play back your main account, right? But it's a good pitch. It's a win-win for both the community and the company, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I guess a question that I wanted to ask you in particular about Old School RuneScape PvP, because I know you were into it probably before most other of the WoW guys. Like you were getting into it a little more. You had called Oda Block and had him teach you a bunch of stuff. So I just want to hear like just your general thoughts on Old School PvP in general, because it's generally looked at as like there's too steep of a learning curve. It's overwhelming. It's not worth it. It's like, what are your thoughts on it as someone who's kind of dove in and experienced a little bit of it?
Gosh, PvP, huh?
Yeah.
I think PvP and MMOs are super fun. It's just the devs kind of forget about you because PVM is a little bit, I almost want to say it's easier to balance because you don't see any monsters complain like, hey, that guy's too strong or that item's too strong, and they cry about it, right?
Yeah, that's
Whereas
true.
in players, they cry about everything, man.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
I will say like PvP is super fun, has a lot of great people, but at the same time, even I myself was included back when I used to like play a lot of arena. I used to be one of the crybabies that would say like, nerf this class, buff this class. Like, can you guys get this thing damn straight, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like negative noise in it. I think that's why like the devs just give up throwing the towel, because it's really hard to make PvP scene happy.
Yeah.
However, going back to what you were saying, I think PvP, I'm a beginner, right? And when you're a beginner in WoW and you PvP, you don't know anything and you get your first kill, it feels amazing, right?
Right.
But as you get deeper into it, you become a little bit more tarnished in a way, like rugged. Like you go through many things, right? Toxic wars, toxic teammates, players,
battle hardened. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get kind of roughened up and you kind of almost become an elitist. I think at some point I was an elitist until I started playing my viewers in the future. But right now I'm in that baby step where I'm just learning, and getting one kill feels amazing, right?
Right.
And I had so much fun with PvP. But again, same thing with WoW. PvP is not that popular. And when I would do LMS, everyone in my community would complain like, oh, you're wasting EXP. PVM is more fun. Like,
yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, I love doing what my audience enjoys watching, right? Because I'm a streamer and you're like a YouTube streamer, right? And you want to see what you want to do, what they want to watch or they're subscribed for, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely kind of put away the PvP scene, but PvP was super fun for what it was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the whole LMS system is really nice for just kind of dipping your toe in, at least to kind of get a feel for it. Because I mean, I honestly, I don't even know the current landscape of like PvP worlds, but when I learned how to PvP for the first time, it was through like the one defense pure PKing on PvP worlds, and it was insane. Because I mean, you don't, it's not safe death. Like you lose your stuff every time you die, so it's not like you can practice LMS or whatever. So it was like a whole different environment, a whole different learning process, and it would have been really fun to see people learn how to PvP in that sense, because LMS, it's obviously zero stakes. You know, you just kind of repeat it until you get it right, and like that just wasn't how it was beforehand.
I think here's what I will say. Like, if I continue playing LMS, I would have probably got hungry enough to want to start doing the pure or just doing the PK stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But the LMS, I like how everyone has like the gear set you start with, and everyone has 3 prayers, offensive and defensive, and it's like whoever does the rock paper scissors the best. And I will say, I'm surprised by how like complex it could get. Like, it's only a few prayers, right? But man, some people go crazy on the switches.
It is like once you get into the the like high risk Oda block tier of battles,
Yeah.
it's like half of the fight. You're not even worried about mechanically clicking correctly anymore. It's psychological warfare at that point. Like it's your skill can only get you so far in sense of clicking when you're at Oda blocks level, so it's just like they're just like faking each other out. Like, what am I gonna do next? What am I gonna do?
Exactly.
It's like, dude, it's a whole different game. Like, it's not even possible to get to that point. Like, those dudes have decade plus of experience doing that shit. It's nuts. But it is really cool that something like LMS kind of let you experience that side of the game, because it really is hard to approach it at all anymore. Because I think if LMS didn't exist, like 0% of new players would be experiencing PvP.
How recent was LMS added?
LMS actually came out very early on. Like, you know that phase in the video game world when Fortnite got popular, so like everyone was making a battle royale, like everybody.
Oh, no way. It was around like the Fortnite time.
LMS has existed for a really long time, but not in its current format. It used to be very different, but LMS itself as a mini game has been around. I don't even remember what year it was, but they were on top of it, like surprisingly fast. The whole battle royale wave, they were on it, which is crazy. But yeah,
that is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad they put it in because we got to experience it, right?
Yeah. It's super cool.
I think OSRs is super fun.
Yeah. I've been very good friends with Kevin Framed, the I think you call him like the Lurer or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, the Lurer Framed.
The Lurer Framed.
Like
I've like been by his side through all of his like, the PvP journey, and it is just different world, man. Like,
I didn't know you guys were like close friends. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I've been very, very close with him for like 13 years. Yeah, very, very good guy.
Really good too. I saw his switches. He's fast.
Yeah, he is. He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't like to. He doesn't like to do like PvP competitions or anything like that, because he just, I don't know. Maybe he just gets nervous, anxious, and which I get. I wouldn't want to fucking PvP against anybody. It was like when we were in Texas, just doing that like PvP shit. That was like the most mental warfare with me and no one else. Like, it was just me against myself, sitting there getting PK'd like by someone with a fucking crossbow, me not knowing what to do with myself. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, cool. The adrenaline, man, it's fun.
Yeah, but
and it can be nerve-wracking. Yeah.
But I guess one last question here, a very important one.
Sure.
What would you rate Old School RuneScape out of 10?
Out of 10? I want to give it a really good score. I think it's really fun in its own way, and it has its own culture, and I think the community is awesome. I think it's like any other MMOs, right? There's like that toxic part, but there's also that welcoming part and patient people just watching us bash our heads and doing everything wrong and being supportive. But and I'm saying that because like the community matters, right? It's like who you play around with and the game. Because without that, it wouldn't be an MMO, right?
Right.
So since it's like an online game, I think the community itself is, I gotta give it a 9, I think.
A 9. Nice.
A 9.
That's a good score.
For the gameplay, I think I'll give it a 10.
Gameplay 10?
Yes.
Damn.
There's a lot of things that I would complain about, right? Where I'm not a fan of how this game is like a beat game. I didn't know that coming in, but it's almost like a beat game where there's like a rhythm you gotta follow. And click, right? So for myself, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but every time I complain about it, people are saying like, oh, you need to get used to it, or it's the game. And they're right. If I was to like complain about this and make them change it, in the way I would be making retail WoW, right? Where I'm asking for too much changes and it would lose what the game is really all about, right?
Right.
And these guys have like history with this game where they played it for like years upon years, like a decade, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And from that perspective, like I could understand it. I could understand their levels of love for this game and how much they care about these tiny little changes, and even them adding sailing recently, right? Like they're afraid of it because it might change the game too much. And I get it, dude. I get it. Like retail went through so much changes, becoming what retail is. And I guess some people love retail and some people might love sailing. Some people might not, right? I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, mixed feelings. I'm
Mixed feelings, okay.
I'm glad, but I think that's another thing that kind of to bounce off that, like with especially with the tick system, is. But one, first of all, I think that all of you guys got pushed way too hard into understanding ticks way too early. It's crazy how much it was present in all of your gameplay, like in early game. Like it is so insanely unnecessary to know about until you are in like very end game. Like it's crazy. So like, I guess that was like the counter to it. It's like if you're feeling like that pressure to understand 100 BPM every 0.6 seconds, you need to understand like clicking twice in between your prayer, you know, it's like you don't need to do that. Like you can min max and be the most efficient player possible, which I understand, you know, Iron Man, you got to make your own supplies, whatever. But ultimately, if it's something that's like hindering your experience at all, you simply don't have to do that. Like it's so optional that it shouldn't ever be a reason to kind of hold you back or like demotivate, because ticks weren't even known about before Old School. Like ticks have always existed, but no one even knew what it was back then.
It's kind of like 2004 Classic WoW, where like nobody really knew anything, but since it was out so long, like these players find a mechanic within itself for them to min max upon, right?
Exactly.
And I guess like in the same way, this is how they figured it out. Because I'm pretty sure the prayer flicking was not intentionally made for them to be able to do that.
No,
but
it is absolutely not. That's not
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I also think it's cool that they kept it in. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So in a way, like I appreciate the game. I think that's why I'm giving it a high score, because within its flaws, I think it's its beauties as well. And I accept what the game is all about, man. It's really fun.
Yeah, I guess that is true. It's like the tick system and like the clock that the game runs on, if you like look at it a certain angle, it seems pretty ugly, but the players have somehow turned it into something beautiful. Like it's just really cool. Yeah. That's true.
It's awesome.
Sweet.
The game's been fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it, and I'm excited to see you wear an infernal cape one day. That's gonna be sick. That's gonna be really sick.
I'll get it one day. Okay, I'll get it one day.
You will. We'll all be watching.
It might even be me taking a break, but one day I'll be wearing it.
Yeah, you will be. Cool.
Because I hear that some people get it like after 5 years too, right? Like
I still don't have one.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I might not get it for a while, but
it's one of those grinds where like you need to really, really want it, because it does take a lot of time and a lot of commitment. Like it's just if you don't like, I've never thought to myself like I need an infernal cape now. Like I need to prove it to myself and others. So it's like, why would I go do that if I don't really want it right now? Like, I'm sure I've had urges here and there, but you know, one day I'll get it too. Why not? You know, but until that time comes, I'm not going to stress it. It ain't going anywhere. That cape will be there for me to get, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome, man.
Savix, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with me about all this stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Of course.
I'm stoked that you've found a very cozy place in the old school community. I think everyone's stoked that you're over here, and very excited to see what happens these next few months, see where you get, what you're up to. It'll be cool.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about it and inviting me over for this great video that you're about to publish, man. I hope you get a lot of likes and leave some nice comments and subscribe, boys.
Yeah, they better like and subscribe or I'll be pissed off. I'm be pissed. Yeah. A big thank you to Savix for taking time out of his day to talk with me. It was a ton of fun. All of his links are down below. Make sure to support him. Go follow his Twitch. Go say hi to him. Go to his YouTube. Subscribe to that. Watch his videos. Turn your ad block off. He's a great guy. He deserves that. Our next and final guest is someone who I have wanted to talk to about MMORPGs for actual years. He was one of the first, if not the first, WoW creator to ever react to my initial World of Warcraft video, and ever since, I have tuned into him and learned a ton about MMORPGs because of how insightful he is. He has a great outlook on a lot of gaming topics, so I was stoked about this one. He's one of the biggest names in the WoW community, one of the nicest people you could ever talk to. I cannot wait for you guys to listen in on this discussion. So I'll see you next episode. where we talk with Zaryu.